the most expensive U.S. House primary race ever in history, and it's happening right across the river. The fight between Representative Thomas Massie and his rival Ed Galrine, who's backed by President Trump, has not only been expensive, it's been downright nasty.
And so tonight, I sit down with Congressman Massie to talk about the mudslinging campaign on both sides and why he hopes voters choose him during next Tuesday's primary. More than $25 million has been spent on the race between Congressman Thomas Massie.
Woke Eddie Galrine is a fraud. He's running in the wrong primary.
And Ed Galrine, the other Republican who wants his job.
This is the face of a deserter. May 19th is our day to fire him.
Did you ever expect this kind of pushback from your own party?
No, I didn't expect it to get this expensive.
In 2024, Donald Trump won by 31 points in Kentucky. And now he's against you. He's attacked you, even on social media, of course, in the commercials. What kind of pressure does that put on you?
What I'm telling people is you can like Donald Trump and you can like Thomas Massie and you can support both of us. Because 90% of the time, I vote the way the president and the party would want me to vote. But 10% of the time, I'm sorry, if they're bankrupting the country, if they're spying on Americans without a warrant, that's where I have to deviate from the party.
You're now the target of his attack. Were you leery to go against the president because of that?
I've never insulted him personally. He has called me a moron at the prayer breakfast, at the National Prayer Breakfast, and people ask me what I had to say for myself. I say, I'm glad I'm in his prayers.
Massie was against teaming up with Israel in the fight against Iran. He believes the long-term effects at the gas pump, in the grocery store, and for farmers has yet to be seen. But he believes voters want a congressman who stands by his promises, not just his party.
I think the people across the country are hungry to see at least one Republican up there who's using his own mind, and that's what I promised to do. That's what I've been doing.
Massie insists he's the guy who fights for Kentuckians. Most recently, he got transparency with the Epstein files, fought for farmers to get their animals processed locally, and is close to getting an instant background check system when someone buys a gun, something he says his opponent couldn't do in the pressure cooker of Capitol Hill.
Well, he's turned down 8 debates. One of them here. That's why we're talking, and he's not in this room with me. He's turned down 7 other debates. I don't think if he can't debate in a studio in Cincinnati, if he can't debate in the Boone County Library, I'm not sure how he's going to debate on the floor of the House against Nancy Pelosi or Hakeem Jeffries.
And that is true, as Congressman Massie stated. He accepted our invitation to a debate here on WLWT. Ed Galrine declined. Now, we've reached out to Mr. Galrine and his team multiple times by email, by phone, requesting a one-on-one interview with him. We've now been invited just today. We've been invited to interview him tomorrow. We're going to bring you that story. Our Todd Dykes will be interviewing him tomorrow night at 6 o'clock.